Okay, everybody, what we're going to do now is we're going to create a comfy chair using SketchUp. So in this exercise, I'm going to be using the online version. So basically just about all the tools that are in the older versions that we're using in the classroom, or some of the older versions you may find for free online are available also in the free version of SketchUp, and I've showed you how to open and use all of them. They're organized differently, but for the most part, they're almost exactly the same. The only difference that I've really noticed that is significant is the ability to do animation, and we'll worry about that later. So we're going to create like a kind of a round backed chair, and I'm going to click and grab my rectangle tool. I'm not going to measure this. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and I'm using the gentleman here as kind of a guide for the chair shape. That looks about right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up into two-dimensional space like that. And then I'm going to select this, and I'm going to use the move tool, and I'm going to make a copy of it, put it above it, and I'm going to right click and hide this object. And we'll come back to that later. Okay. Now, one of the interesting things about this version of SketchUp is that when I want to unhide, I have to go over here to display. Whereas in the older versions of SketchUp, you could just right click anywhere on the screen. So I go to display and I have to choose unhide, and I have all selected and last. Okay. So we'll get back to that later. Now we're going to start modeling our little chair here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to curve the back of the chair. I'm going to use my 2-point arc tool. It's my favorite arc tool. I'm going to click on the edge and then click on the other edge. And then I'm going to pull this and create like a curve, something like that. That looks pretty good. Then I'm going to grab my push pull tool, and I'm just going to snap it off here and snap it off here. And now we can get rid of our little filler. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the offset tool. And I prefer the old SketchUp menu where you could just make all the tools, the large tool set available all the time. And I still haven't figured out a way to do that. So you have to keep clicking and opening up this large tool set here. I wish I could just make it always available, but it's not the end of the world. So we want the offset tool. What we're going to do is we're going to make a selection first. We're going to select this edge, hold down the shift key, select this edge, and continue clicking all the way around like that. We don't necessarily need to select the front. Then we're going to grab the offset tool and pull in about like so. So it looks perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the push-pull tool. We're going to push this down. So there's our kind of like our chair shape. And that looks pretty good so far. That's pretty good. So just to make it look more interesting, what I want to do is I'm going to draw a line down the front like this, and a line down the front like this to look like cushions. Oop, went down a little too far. Let's try it again. Click and then click. And then I'm just going to draw a line across like this. So that's like the cushions. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to make it where the arms of the chair slope. And we're going to use a technique that we talked about before, which is to create a Boolean operation, right? So we're going to go back, we're going to go to display, and we're going to unhide our hidden objects. And what I want to do is I want to make this top box just a little bit bigger, so that I can use it to chop out this. So let's trap select that top box. Let's grab our scale tool, And we're going to scale it from the front and from both sides. Something like that. Let's see if that should fit neatly. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate it from the side, select it again. And what I want to do is I want to rotate it to an angle and then smash it into the arms of the chair. And then I'm going to use the subtract from model to create the slope of the arms. So we're going to grab the where is it? The tool we want. You know, this version is kind of annoying. I want to rotate. Is this the right one? Let's see. No. Where is it? Rotate. Here it is. All right. So it's you think that if it's in here, it'd be in here too, but no. So I want to snap on it in the red axes. I'm going to click and drag it to the point there and just rotate it. Something like that. Okay, that looks good. All right. So now we've got this thing set up and we're going to smash this down. So I'm going to trap select it, grab my move tool. Always grab corner to corner. That always helps. I'm going to grab it, come straight down, and position it where I want it to go, something like that. So it's going to smash into the arms. Now I'm going to trap select both of these shapes, right click, and we want to choose intersect faces with selection. And we've successfully completed that operation. Now we can erase away these sections here we don't need. And you see that we've cut away into the chair arms, and we're just going to delete all that there. And sometimes it's easier to use this tool. Sometimes it's easier to use the select tool to select areas and delete them, whichever one comes first. There we go. If you right click and drag, so there we have the arms slanted. Looks like it's sticking out just a little bit. So we can go ahead and correct that. Weird little niche there. Okay. Oops. And let's click there. Boom. Now, the only problem is that the material here is the inside material as opposed to the, whenever you have a shape and you see the inside, it's that darker gray. So we want to right click on there and we want to reverse faces and right click and reverse faces on that as well. There's our comfy chair. And then we can come back in and grab some material. Say we want it to be blue. And click with the selection tool, and that'll fill the whole thing at the same time. And now we've created this really kind of nice looking comfy chair. Okay, we're going to stop here.